Hello beautiful yogi and welcome to practice. My name is Mimi and today's practice will be focusing on our side lines, lengthening through our side bodies, or I often love to describe it as learning to breathe through our gills. So whenever you're ready, find your way into child's pose where we begin our practice. You can have your knees a little wider than your hips here, so your belly can really drop between your thighs all the way to the floor. Let it be a very passive child's pose where your forehead is resting on the ground and your arms are relaxed, so your elbow and your forearm is resting into the floor as well. Giving yourself a moment here to drop into your practice, allowing your mind to rest into your breathing body. Feel the breath within, the expression of your breath, which can be you're feeling your breath or maybe also becoming aware of lacking some breath in some areas. And with that gentle approach here, start then to bring breath to those areas as well. And as we allow our mind to settle more and more into the breathing body, begin as well to drop any internal chit-chatter or any agenda. Know that you're at the perfect spot right now, here on your yoga mat, spending some time with yourself. And there's no other place you have to be right now. Taking another 2 breaths here into the belly, into the heart, maybe even parting the lip with an audible sigh out as you let that breath go. Let's do that one more time. Long deep breath into your stomach, into your chest, and then exhale out and let that breath go. From here, let's bring slowly but surely movement back to our tired limbs, walking the hands in a little closer towards your knees and bring your shoulders all the way above your heels. You can still have your knees a little wider than your hips. Then turn your hands around so your fingertips are pointing towards your toes or as far as you can go. And maybe just walk your hands here. It's almost like a cat who's getting ready to nestle their resting place. Giving the floor some pause here with your hands. And once it feels good, just find stillness and keep on pressing the heels of your hands down. From here, let's introduce some cat-cow stretches. Start to lift your belly forward, draw your shoulder blades down towards the back of your hips and arch your back, and with that maybe your gaze starts to shift forward or even upwards. With an exhale, find your cat stretch in this position, rounding the spine, drawing front body into the back body, pulling chin down towards pubic bone, and then release again, taking a long deep breath in. And as you move through your cat-cow stretches here, be mindful with your hands and keep the heel of your hand pressed down in both end ranges of your cat and your cow stretch. Repeat that one more time, still like working on really feeling the flow breath and feeling how the breath moves you. So there's breath first and then movement follows. Taking another breath in to release and then untwist your hands and start to walk your hands out in front of you. Bring your knees underneath your hips. When you're ready, start to tuck your toes under and glide up into your downward facing dog. And what we just did before with our hands, maybe do that now with your feet. Again, walking on the spot. Like you, just checking in with the ground underneath and also with your body. Beautiful. Allowing your spine to extend longer and longer until you really feel how you're pressing away from your hands and your spine starts to decompress with your head resting effortlessly between your arms. Bring your feet hip-width distance apart or big toes to connect. Start to rise your heels all the way up so you come all the way up on the highest point of your tippy toes. Then stay in your down dog shape though, and press the back of your heart slightly forward so the gaze is still shifted towards your toes and your head is maybe even behind your arms. From here, let then your heels drop over to the left side of the room. Toes are pivoting to the right side without losing the connection of your right hand and the floor. Keep on pressing your right hand down. Squeeze your left oblique and swing your left hip up towards your left shoulder, and with that, feel that beautiful side body stretch on the right side. Take a deep breath into that right side body. Let it go, maybe bending a little more into the knees, shifting the chest, your heart a little more towards your knees. With your next inhale, come all the way up, back into that high downward facing dog on your tippy toes, and then pivot over to the other side. Squeezing now the right oblique to swing the right hip over to the right arm, and pressing the chest towards your thighs so the left side body gets elongated. Support that lengthening with another breath in. And then find softening, even though we're putting up a little bit of strain within. Find always softness by exhaling out any tension, coming back through your high down dog. Keep your chin pulled towards your chest. Feel how the back of your heart pulls you forward to find your high plank, shoulders above your wrist. Switch on your core. Lower both knees simultaneously down to the floor. Keep the elbows close to your ribcage. Bend them to the back of the room to lower chest, chin down. From here, slither forward, straighten your legs, coming onto the thighs, onto the hips. Keep your elbows magnetized towards another as you rise up into baby cobra. Press the top of the feet into the floor so your legs are invested into that lift as well. From here, free your right hand and slide it just a little bit further forward. Then rotate your elbow joints both forward, and it feels almost like here are your gills. They're winging to the left, right, outside, and they're pulling that breath all the way up high to the ground of your head, and with that comes that rising into a higher back bend. At your highest point, roll then over towards your right hip bone. You can step your left foot in front of your right knee. And then allow yourself to be sluggish in this position. So we allow our shoulder to shrug up to the ear and our ribs are pulled by earth down towards the floor. Your left hand or left arm, if you want, so can rest on your left knee. And then just feel how actually gravity helps you to re-lengthen your right side body. So the more you surrender, the better you do. What a beautiful invite to let go. Taking another breath in here. Exhale out. With kindness, loving kindness, find your way back out the same way you got in there. Coming onto your stomach, both hands by your ribs. Pressing through the hands, gliding all the way back into child's pose. Just to check in for a moment, bowing mind down to earth. Rounding your way back up, coming high in your hands and your knees. Tuck your toes under, find a cow stretch and glide your hips back up high into your downward facing dog. With your next inhale, so slowly float your right leg up towards the sky, keeping the hips square. Draw your right knee into your chest, come onto the ball of your left foot. Keep the gaze shifted towards your right knee as you bring hands, shoulders above your hands, and then step your right foot so gently, almost like as if it stands in between your hands. Left knee goes towards the floor. Undulate your way up high, magnetizing your inner thighs towards another and keeping your hip in a neutral position. Then with an exhale, sink down towards your right here. With an inhale, come back up again, catching the breath at the bottom of your pelvis. Lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. Let your right hand come down into your right hip. Lengthen once more, catching the breath now from your left knee, maybe even toes all the way up into your left fingertips. And then invite another side bend coming over to the right side. Keep on traveling, but try really to scratch the outer edges of your circle, leaning over that right knee, leaning forward. Keep on traveling the same direction. Pivot on your left knee and go all the way to the end of the yoga mat. Placing your left hand down, aligned with your left knee. Straighten your right leg and turn your toes in. Catch another breath and drag that breath from your right foot all the way up into your right fingertip as you reach beyond your ear overhead. Squeeze the butt, press the right foot into the ground. And then rather than thinking how that shape looks like, can you drift to how does it feel like and what could you do to create even more space for yourself? Another breath in here. Activate your right oblique, stay in two-dimensional setup and come all the way up into gate pose. Right hand glides down along your right thigh, left fingertips are reaching overhead. And then find your way back up high, both of your hands above your head, interlacing the fingers over your head. Turn your palms up towards the sky. Keep your ribs connected and drag down towards your hips. So we have that pelvis tucked as we recreate length, length, length. And you could even pull your hands slightly apart. Feel how this gives you so much more space for the top of the shoulders. Keep your core engaged. Keep your right foot pressed down. And then start to lean back over to the left side. lengthening and strengthening. So find now your strength in your deepest reach. Another breath in. Exhale out, and then lift yourself with strength back up high. Well done. Bend your right knee and turn your toes back to the front. Frame your right foot, pivot on your left knee. Let's meet in downward facing dog, stepping it back. Exhale out. Lift your heels up high, draw your chin towards the chest. The back of your heart is pulling you forward before you unfurl into your high plank. Both knees touching the floor simultaneously. Bend the elbows to the back of the room, lower chest, chin down. Slither through your thumbs all the way forward, upwards. Keep on pressing through the top of the feet. It's almost like you're kicking water, and with that you dive up towards the surface with the ground of your head. Slide then your left hand in front of your left shoulder. Rotate your elbows forward and feel how this creates that vacuum that pulls in more breath and more breath. And with that comes that rising out of the mats all the way up. Beautiful. At your highest point, tip over towards your left hip bone this time. Right leg can step in front of that left knee. And then find again a position where it feels like, whoo. As soon as you let go, you actually get that beautiful lengthening for your left side body. So you could adjust it by either bringing the hand in closer if you don't get enough sensation, or if it's too much, then slide that hand further out behind you. Again, as always, in the end though, we want to focus on our breath and feel how the breath always helps to put that icing of the cake to a posture in our asana practice. That brings the sweetness to every sensation. Taking one more breath in here. Let that breath go. Exhale out. In slow motion, staying tuned in your transitions. Find your way back onto your stomach. Pull your left hand beside your ribs. Push through both of your hands and glide your hips all the way back into child's pose. Bowing down to the present moment, to earth. Round your way back up high. Come on hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Glide your hips up. Downward facing dog. Connect your big toes at the end of the yoga mat. Feel how your next inhale floats your left leg up high, high, high. Taking it slow and easy so you can really witness every inch of that movement. Bring your left knee into your chest and draw your chin towards your chest as you roll forward to step then left foot down between your hands. Let your right leg come down towards the floor. Catching the breath at the bottom, dragging it up, magnetize your inner thighs towards another. Tuck your tailbone under and then find sweet depth through it. Coming back out of it again, inhale. Let your left hand sink down into your left hip. Catching another breath on the right toes up into the right fingertips. And then lean with that long spine over towards your left side. Keep on traveling over that left knee. Again, finding really the outside borders of that circle as you circle your way all the way to the end of the yoga mat over your right shoulder. Hand finds ground. Left toes are turning inwards. Reach with your left fingertips all the way overhead. Almost as if you have a weight in your left hand. Let that left hand sink back down above your right hand and use it to maybe lift the left hip a little higher up towards the sky. Then crunch and activate that muscle and lift yourself all the way up. Side gate pose. Keep on sliding down with your left hand along your left thigh. Right fingertips are reaching overhead. Coming back into an upright position. Interlace your fingers above your head. Maybe the other thumb on top if you can remember. Press your palms upwards and pull your hands so slightly apart to keep the top of the shoulders spacious. Ribs together. Let your sit bones look down towards the back of your right knee. And then from here, lean over towards the right side without pivoting the left shoulder forward. Stay strong. I know this is a hard one. Don't hold your breath. Keep on breathing and then come all the way back up. High, high, high. Well done. Turn your left toes towards the front. Frame your left foot. Stepping it all the way back. Downward facing dog. Find another high down dog. Lift your heels up high. Draw your chin towards your chest at your highest point. Just stay here for a moment. Really pressing your hands into the ground. Use your core as well to draw ribs towards another and down towards your hips. So you're almost rounding at that highest position. From here, let your heels sink over to the left side. Toes are going over to the right side. Find that side body stretch first. Activate your left oblique. Press your right foot, maybe even the left foot too, into the ground. And when that all feels stable and active, free your right hand and start to open into a side plank. So roll your right shoulder on top of your left shoulder. Without going into wild thing yet, focus more on that lengthening of your sideline. Taking another breath in. Exhale out, release. Bring your right hand back down towards the floor. Come into high down dog. From here, start to wave your body forward, high plank. Inhale, with or without your knees. Find now Chaturanga Dandasana. Keep on pushing forward, coming all the way up. Inhale, pressing through the top of the feet, strong core, coming over your feet back to the end of the yoga mat. Lift your right leg up high towards the sky, keeping your inner thighs together to start with. And then mindfully start to open your hips, rolling the right hip on top of the left hip without pivoting on that left foot. And try to keep buoyancy underneath your left armpit. Squeeze your butt. I always like to flex my right foot because it helps me to activate even more leg muscles. And then from here, keep that right leg straight. Start to rotate it all the way around to the outside of your right foot, without stepping down, coming forward, forward, forward. Come onto the toes of your left foot. Squeeze your right side body, and then release and come all the way back out of it again. Lift that right leg up high towards the sky. Taking another breath in. Exhale out, going around once more. But this time, in your end position, bend your right knee and step your right foot all the way through between your hands. Well done. Lunge here, low lunge. Start to open up over to the right side, easy twist. Keep your left hand grounded as your right arm goes all the way up towards the sky. Keep on spiraling your belly button towards the inner thigh of your right leg. Another breath in. Exhale out. Brush the sky with your right arm. And then come into high Skandasana. Hands on the inside of your left foot. Transition to the back of the yoga mat. Left leg bends, right leg goes straight. Stay a little higher here with your butt, so your heel is definitely still grounded, and your hands are somewhere underneath your shoulders, so the spine can kind of lengthen between sit bone and ground of your head. And then just check in and take a couple of breaths here. Opening through the left hip, flossing it. So whatever serves that purpose, feel free to move away from any cues I gave you or any sort of alignment that is written in the books, and move to how does it feel. Then release and keep on traveling over your left shoulder. So we end up in a runner's lunge, in a low lunge, facing the other side of the room. Beautiful. From here, step it back. Left foot meets right foot. Finding downward facing dog. Let's go again. Lift your heels up, high, 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 towards the sky. Taking another breath in here at your highest position. And then let your heels come over towards the right side. Toes are looking towards the left side. Activate your right side body first. Squeezing the right oblique. Having the feet grounded. And then from here, free your left hand. And open a little more through your left side body. Imagine there's a weight attached to your left hand and it pulls it down towards your right fingertips, but at the same time your hip goes up towards the sky. Taking another breath in. Exhale out, well done, hands down to the floor. Coming into high down dog this time to wave your whole body forward into high plank. Low plank with or without your knees. Baby cobra or full cobra. Inhale, find your way up. With a strong core and strong legs, pull yourself all the way back into a downward facing dog. Rise your left leg up high towards the sky, taking another breath in. Being mindful with the transition, notice when are your hips square, and then from here, move into an open hip position, rolling the left hip on top of the right hip, without pivoting on the right foot, without losing height in your right armpit. Squeeze your butt. Invest your whole leg into that shape, flexing or pointing. And then from here, keeping that left leg high, rotate it all the way around to the outside of your left wrist without stepping it down. Come high on your right toes. Have your core engaged. I know this is a hard one. Don't hold your breath. And then so slowly release and come all the way back up high and into that diagonal. Taking another breath in here. Let's go again. Exhale. So if we step through our thumbs this time, but don't rush because you know you go there. Try to squeeze everything, tasting every flavor of the transition before you go down. Well done. Easy twist again. Lunge. Free your left hand, brushing the outside of your left shin, going past your chest all the way up towards the sky. Activate your core spine, your belly button towards your inner thigh. And then brush the skies, bring your left arm all the way forward. Down on the inside of your left foot. And with that, transition all the way back to the original front of the yoga mat to come into high skandasana. Both toes are tracking towards the side, hands are underneath your shoulders. And then start to lengthen again your spine. And with that, so gently starting to open that right hip now. So if you feel like little wiggles, little movements help you to access more depth in that posture, go ahead and do so. But if you find that movement is more a distraction from the actually work, then maybe stillness is working better for you. Another breath in. Exhaling out. Beautiful. Find then your way back to the front of the yoga mat. This time to step it forward. Left foot meets the right foot at the front of the yoga mat. Come into a forward fold here where you let everything drop. Starting with your physical body. Maybe holding the opposite elbow joint. And then from that surrender of the physical body, also find yourself letting go of any mental stress. The energy that comes with holding on thoughts that are bugging you. And melt more and more throughout all the layers of your body into that forward fold. Beautiful. Let then go of your hands again. Micro bend in your knees. Sweep your arms back and around to come all the way up. Standing nice and tall. Hands down to heart center. Samastihiti. Here we begin again, knowing that every breath gives you permission to begin again. Inhale, part the clouds and swan dive your way down into a forward fold. Exhale out. Free your right foot and step it all the way to the end of the yoga mat. Magnetize your inner thighs towards another. Have your bum engaged. Undulate your way up high. Crescent lunge. Inhale. Pivot your right heel down to the floor. Open up into your warrior two. Exhale out. Beautiful. Start to straighten your right leg and bring your hands over your head. And then we come into that bind again, interlacing the fingers above our head, and we turn our palms away. As you do so, re-bend back into that left knee for your warrior two shape through the bottom, but a long reach up towards the sky through the top. Have your sit bones looking down towards the ground, and then start to lean back behind you. Imagining as if there's a wall caving you in from the back, and you press it away with your hands. Taking another breath in here. Let that breath go. Exhale out. With strength, find your way back up high. Open your hands and then spin your arms down to frame your left foot. Stepping it all the way back into downward facing dog. Undulate your way forward, coming into high plank. Inhale. Exhale out, low plank. Push forward and upwards. Come into your cobra or your preferred back bend. And if you're up in a high cobra, upward facing dog, start to lower yourself down with control again to that point where you know you can hold yourself without your arms. From here, let's glide that right arm forward. Rotate your elbow joints forward, draw your chin towards your chest to lock your energy lock at the top as you drag your breath up high, 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 high. Your highest point tip over towards the right side. Step your left foot over your right knee. Just surrender for a moment down. Beautiful. Allow all your toes to look forward or towards the side, towards the camera in that case. And then flex your right foot. That's the foot that is at the end of the yoga mat. Activate your right oblique, push through your right hand, your left foot and the knife edge of your right foot as you brush the skies with your left arm to come all the way up high, high, high. Keep on hugging your right inner thigh up towards your left inner thigh and reach with your left fingertips all the way overhead. Again, opening up through your gills, breathing through your gills, but you also might feel a nice stretch in your hips. Reset and come back down. Let that right hip just sink for a moment. Taking a breath here, recharged, refreshed. Let's go all the way back up, high again. Wonderful. And then release and step it back into plank position. Left hand meets right hand, left foot goes beside your right foot. Chaturanga Dandasana. Pushing through into your back bend, inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhaling out. Beautiful. Find your high downward facing dog. Coming all the way up onto your tippy toes. Draw your chin towards your chest. Feel how the back of your heart is pulling forward. Let your heels sink over towards the right side of the room. Bend into your knees so you can ground through your right foot. All four corners connecting. Then swing your left hip underneath your right hip. Free your right arm. Squeeze your left oblique. Turn your left bicep towards the front. Bend your knees even more, so now your left foot can ground as well. Come onto the tippy toes of your right foot. Still squeezing through that left oblique. Have faith in yourself. And if you fall, that's okay. But how would it feel now to lift that right leg off the floor? Taking another breath in, looking down towards the thumb of your left hand, right foot steps beside it. Go for it, go for it. Moving slow that you know what to tweak when you feel like you fall. Well done. Once the right foot is there, if you didn't make it, just find your way to the front. Lift your right arm up high, finding your easy twist. Taking another breath in here. With an exhale out, bring your right hand on the inside of your right foot, pivot on your left foot, and let's walk all the way back again into Skandasana. This time, so if you can, a little deeper, which means we sit our bum all the way down towards our heel and we try to lengthen through our spine, coming into an upright position. Turn the toes and the knee of your right leg upwards and use your left shoulder to push your left hip wide open. So you can use that left arm as a leverage. But then again, find softening within your breath. So at the beginning, it almost can feel like, I'm really pressing and pulling and straining in my body to get into the pose, which is fine as long as you then arrive and you find the stillness and calmness, and with that new created space. Hold it just for one more breath in. Let that breath go. Exhale out. Well done, yogi. Let's keep on turning the same way. So we flip the room again, going over your left knee, finding your low lunge. Pour all of your weight into your left foot. Pick your right leg up high, and then step your right beside your left to come into a forward fold. Mike, you bend your knees, sweep your arms back and around to come all the way up, standing nice and tall. Inhale. Hands down to heart center, Samastihiti. Let's begin again. Maybe find your gills here as well in our linear movement to breathe through them. Deep breaths into the side bodies. Exhale, slingshot your heart forward, fold all the way down over your legs. Exhale out. Free your left foot, pick it up, stream it all the way to the back of the yoga mat to step it down. Undulate your way up high, coming into crescent lunge. Inhale. Let's open up into warrior two. Exhale out. Lift both of your hands over your head, interlacing the fingers above your head. Straighten your right knee just for now. Turn your palms back upwards. Have a little bit of a pulling sensation apart of your hands to keep shoulders spacious, and then rebend into your right knee. Try to have that right knee really on the outer ankle of your right foot, having the right outer thigh activated. Lengthening the spine, sit bones are looking down towards the sky, towards the earth. Draw your belly button in, lift towards the sky, and then with that length, start to lean over towards the left side. Keeping that right knee bent, so move towards that discomfort. Push yourself out of it, and then find comfort again by lengthening your breath. Well done with strength. Come all the way back up high. Open your hands. Spin them down to frame right foot. Step it back into a downward facing dog. Exhale out. Wonderful. Lift your heels up high. Draw your chin towards your chest. Round your way forward. Coming into high plank. Lower yourself down. Long plank. Find your back bend. Inhale. And then release and come back down to the point where you feel strong enough to help hold yourself. Bring your left hand in front of you. Rotate your elbows forward, chin to chest. Catch your breath at the bottom of your feet, like you're drinking it in through your energetic straws, your legs at the highest point. Drop then over towards your left side. Right foot steps in front of that left knee. And then just chill for a moment. Breathing into the left side body. It's almost like your left side body is yawning. And with that, it pulls all the oxygen in. Charge your left leg, flex the foot, all 10 toes and looking forward. From here, let's press through left hand, right foot, left knife edge of the foot, lifting all the way up high, 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 high. Keep on scooping that left hip underneath, hugging the left inner thigh up towards your right inner thigh. And reset, coming back down onto your hip. Finding our life elixir, our breath to go into second round. Coming all the way up high, 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 high. Brush the sky with your right hand. And then release and find your way back into plank position. Right hand underneath your right shoulder. Right foot beside your left foot. Tap into your core strength. Lower yourself down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Push forward and upwards. Coming into your back bend with a strong core, strong legs, rolling over the top of the feet. Find your downward facing dog. Exhale out. Beautiful. Take another breath in here. Let that breath go. Exhale out. Rising high into your high down dog, all the way towards your tippy toes. Feel how the back of your heart drags slightly forward, chin towards chest. Let your heels tip over to the right side. Step by step, without being yourself ahead. Keep your palms pinned down first and find that strong foundation through your legs. Scoop your right hip underneath your left hip and squeeze through that right oblique. Once that is all given and set up and firm, start to lift your left arm overhead. This maybe gives you a little more space to slide even further down towards your feet so the right foot can be grounded as well, big toe included. Then from here, how would it feel now to lift that left leg up towards the sky? Keep your right oblique squeezed to hold you, you got this. Looking down towards your right thumb in slow motion. Step your left foot all the way towards the front on the inside of your right hand. Made it. Beautiful. Coming into easy twist from here. Inhale. Exhale, left hand on the inside of your left foot. Pivot on your right foot and walk it all the way to the end to find high Skandasana on the other side. And then again, just taking a moment here. There's a lot of happening in our Skandasana, in our surface lunge. So we want to take a little time really to allow it all to be seen and felt by us. Last 2 breaths here. And then turn it all the way back again to the original front of the room. Step in the back into a downward facing dog. Exhale out. Rising high on the tippy toes, chin to chest. Round your way forward. Come into high plank. Low plank. Flush it out with your vinyasa. Coming into a back bend. And then find child's pose or hero pose, whatever sits with you more naturally. And try to go straight there. Have your eyes closed, maybe not even fixing any hair or anything else, but dive straight into the feeling, into the after ripples of the practice or the echoing, because it really works that way. We keep on stirring up, we let settle, we stir up, we let settle, we stimulate, maybe even aggravate sometimes. But then the magic happens when we give it time to be heard, when we give it time to rebound and to resettle. So stay present. Turn your whole body into an ear to hear it all. Taking one more breath here. And then slowly, in your own way, in your own time, with as many details as you wish to, find your way into downward facing dog. Big toes are connected at the end of the yoga mat. Pick your right leg all the way up towards the sky. Curl your right knee into your chest, chin to knee, coming all the way forward. Step your right foot all the way through between your thumbs. Undulate your way up high, come into a crescent lunge, inhale. Pivot your left foot down, your left heel down. Warrior two, exhale out. Reverse your warrior here. Left hand can come down along your left thigh, or maybe you would enjoy to swing it around your left lower back. Beautiful. From here, cartwheel your arms all the way back down. Pivot on your left foot, so you're on the ball of your left foot. Keep on traveling with that right arm, so you end up in your easy twist, creating one straight line from your left wrist up into your right fingertips, hugging the inner thighs towards another. From a strong core and strong legs, let then your right arm float down on your left hamstring. Left hand floats up in front of you, reaching for your hamstring, and your left hand keeps on traveling all the way overhead. Behind you, you might even look over your right shoulder, down towards that left heel. Another breath in. And then release. Spin your arms all the way back down on the inside of your right foot. Pivot on your left foot and crawl all the way back over your left leg. So we're going to go into a bit deeper position, which demands a little bit of flexibility. If it's not your thing yet, if it's not in your practice yet, just adjust it your way. So from here, we want to sit down onto our bum. You can use your hands to support you to find that way down. So if this feels like impossible, you could either use a block and place it underneath your hips if you have one at home, or if not, then just let that knee come down to the floor and work from that shape. And that's totally fine. If it is in your flexibility though, keep that leg up straight with the knee pointing up towards the ceiling and your left foot slightly externally rotated. Reach with your right arm to catch your left ankle. Keep the toes of your right foot pointed forward. Catch your breath in with that. Lift your left arm up towards the sky and then start to lean over that right leg. And there's no rush, there is no urgency. It's not about the end destination, but really, truly about those things you can explore as you go deeper and deeper. So use every inhale maybe to back off a little bit, rolling the shoulders in front of each other before you use then your exhale to go deeper into that wonderful side body opening. And here we truly can feel how it is or how it would be to breathe through gills. Stay here for 2 more breaths. One more. And then find a slow and safe way out into an upright position. Coming back onto your heel, onto your foot, and then crawl your way back towards the front. Framing the right foot. Step your right foot back into downward facing dog. You're more than welcome to just stay here. Or maybe you'll feel like one more vinyasa to flush it out. One more breath here in our down dogs. Next inhale lifts left leg up to the skies. Stepping it all the way through the thumbs, exhale out. Undulate your way up high, come into crescent lunge, inhale. Turn right heel down, open up into your warrior two, exhale. Reverse your warrior, right hand glides down along your right thigh, left fingertips reaching all the way behind you. Spin your arms back down. Keep on traveling with that left hand. Turn onto the ball of your right foot. Find your easy twist. Left arm goes up high. Inhale. Come up into your twisted crescent lunge. Left arm drops down to the right hamstring. Right arm goes up in front of your face, all the way behind you. Keep on looking over your left shoulder. Open up from the right toes up into your right fingertips. And then cartwheel your arms all the way back down. Left hand goes onto the inside of that left foot. Turn your right heel down, right toes out, and glide all the way to the back of the yoga mat. Create space for your hips first, and then again, find your block if you have one, or find your modification if you need one. Sitting down, reaching with the left hand over towards that right ankle. And then brush the sky with your right fingertips as your left shoulder moves further down, down, down towards the floor. Maybe to come into a bind, maybe not. Know that it's really not about connecting bones with each other, but about lengthening through the right side body. So set yourself up a way that it really serves this purpose. Stay in here for another 2 breaths. And then slowly release, coming all the way out. From here, all you have to do is just closing your legs together. So bring that right leg around towards your left. Maybe shuffle your bum centered on the yoga mat. And then bend your knees. Hold on to the back of your knees. Puff your heart up high, high, high. Let your shoulder blades drop down towards your sit bones. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards another. Exhale out, round. Feel how you pull your front body into your back body. And you spread your shoulder blades apart. Let's come up once more. Inhale, like your cow stretch. Exhale, like your cat stretch. And then slowly from here, lower yourself all the way down onto your back. Once you're there, let your head rest, your shoulders rest, your arms go wide. Walk your feet a little wider than your yoga mat. And then just windshield wipe your legs from side to side. Super free movement where we try not to guide anything, but just let our legs be moved by momentum and gravity. And then the next time when you're over at your right side, just stay there. Maybe shuffle that left foot a little further over to the left side. So you're creating one straight line with that left knee, left hip, and left shoulder. That might be enough. Or if you want, you can pick up your right foot and rest it on top of your left knee to assist yourself a little more depth. Turns into a beautiful stretch for the outer hip and even like a little bit for the inside of the hip. And also across the stomach, and our sideline is a little bit involved in it as well. Taking another breath in here. And then let your right foot slide off that left leg. Swing your legs over to the left side. So left foot might walk in a little further and right foot shuffles out a little further, creating one straight line, right knee, right hip, right shoulder. And then if you want, place your left foot on top of that right knee for more weight. Let everything settle again. Similar to earlier where we were in child's pose or hero pose. This is where the magic of the practice really unfolds, and we want to make sure we're not missing out. So our whole body turns into one big ear. Every cell of our body starts to listen up to this beautiful language that might not use any words to talk to us. Reconnect in mind and body. And then free that side as well. Coming back centered and set yourself up for Shavasana, which means that if you're not ready for Shavasana yet, you might add in a couple more moves, whatever your body is craving here, whatever you need to get rid of the last itches, to allow then your whole body to splash out, resting so expansive into the floor underneath, giving all the weight into the floor. So at some point, we experience heaviness and lightness at the same time. We're resting our bones heavily into the ground, and with that we receive lightness. And between those two opposite forces within, we create more and more space for ourselves. A space free of judgment. A space away from any expectations we put up on ourselves so often. And we really can connect with the rawest version of ourselves, the way we are, when there are no agendas or no must or to-dos. And once we connect with that true version of ourselves, and we get a glimpse of the needs of it, or the ideas, we can bring that version out a little easier even when we are in our normal daily hustles. And whenever that happens, whenever we are the true version of ourselves, that's when life becomes easy, because we're not having an internal fight or strain, but everything moves the same direction and it feels effortless. So allow yourself to connect with yourself, with your true self, by holding just space for the things the way they are. The beauty in a home practice is that you're not forced to come out of your Shavasana on anyone's time, but just on yourself, on your own time. So if you want to stay for a little longer, feel free to stay there. Or if you want to start to greet your day or maybe your night whenever you practiced here, add in movement to your body and find your way up into a seated position, taking all the time you need. Let's meet once more in a cross-legged seat, sitting nice and tall, eyes still closed, feeling into that new created space. Connect your hands in front of your heart center, bowing your intellect down to your heart wisdom, allowing your true version to be involved into your everyday actions. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. See you soon again. Namaste.